So this is a 4th lift. We finished the 3rd lift yesterday. I want to show you how to make a 4th lift easy. Basically, if you go check out the videos that I made on the 3rd lift to get to this point, then I'll put them up here somewhere. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to watch them. If you're not on YouTube, then just go check it out. Type in how to make a 3rd lift easy, 4th lift easy when you're on a 3rd lift. But I want to talk about where the problems come from and why people seem to struggle. I know not everyone struggles, a lot of people get on with it, but for any of you out there that are struggling with 2nd lifts and 4th lifts, and you can't seem to figure out what you're doing wrong, so on the 4th lift, you've got 2 heights to hit: your lintel height and your plate height for the roof trusses to go on. What a lot of people don't understand is I put my window frames in with a laser, so they should all be pretty spot on. Now, when people, due to human error, if you've got a big gang and you've got a few rough people, can't get down to the line, and they bump their blockwork up 15 mil or something like that, and then their brickwork's low, and there's so many little factors that can add to not getting having an easy job on a 2nd lift or a 4th. The best way to get over any problems with the lintel height is, see you've got this section over the back here, and you've got a lot going through there. Now, they all should be, if it was done right, they will all be bang on level with each other. But say for instance you've got them 2 small windows in the front over here. Let's say for instance one of your brickies is having a bad day, and there's 2 briquette courses under these 2 because they're a smaller window to bring them up to the same height as these ones. Let's say that they've got, I don't know, some big briquettes coming, because they do come in big, and they've bumped these 2 up in the middle 10-15 mil, and then you go off of this one over here, and then you run through the middle, and then suddenly you've got 2 heights that are higher than your actual brickwork, which is a big problem, because either you have to try and bump over it, which looks rough as fuck, or you have to try and drop the window. And if your brickwork, and you've got brickwork seals underneath, then it's going to be impossible to do it. So you need to find your highest window frame. Obviously brickwork has to be level, obviously. Easiest way, if you don't have a laser level, I really recommend getting one. Let's say that one over there is into the height, and your other brickies bumped up a bit over it, and this one is now 20 mil high, and then you're going to go to your lintel height here, and then to your lintel height over here, and this brickwork is going to be, that brickwork's going to be 20 mil lower than that brickwork over there. You need to find, like if you do a footing, you find your highest corner and you get everything level. It's the same with a lintel height. You find the highest lintel, the highest head of frame, and you transfer that around everywhere. So you might be 20 mil higher than that one over there, but you now have a level brickwork. You now have your brickwork level again, right? And then that is the first hit you want, the first height you want to hit, and that will get you over a lot of problems if you use a laser level. Second problem is usually when these frames haven't been put in properly. What a lot of like new bricklayers do is this here needs to be skin tight up to the blockwork. Your blockwork needs to be bang on plumb, and we can just fit our brickwork in there nice and snug. That is actually a little bit too close for comfort for me. I actually made that one 5 mil bigger just for, you know, human error, but this is the other problem that you come against to slow you down, is that this hasn't been put in properly. And what I mean is, it's not tight to the back of your block work. If it's not tight to the back of your block work and it starts going out like this, what happens is, if that is over here, where if your brickwork is plumb, suddenly this frame will start to want to push out your brickwork, right? And then what you have to start doing is chipping away at the side of your brick, which takes time. Time is money, blah blah blah. So that's another problem that you come against. So what I like to do is go round the outside brickwork first, if I can, if it's not has to be block work first. If I can do the brickwork first, I will. I prefer doing brickwork first. I always have, and if I can do it, I will. I'll go round at lintel height on the inside, on the outside brickwork, which then releases me to be able to finish off the internal work. I'll go round the internal work, which is your second height you have to hit. Now, obviously, if you've put it in with a laser, you're only get, if you've got a block and a briquette, or 2 block on the top, or whatever it is here, I don't know, I ain't even looked yet. Then you've put everything in. Your lintel heights are in. You can only gauge from that point up. You can only grind a little bit, and you can only bump a little bit. You've also got a plate that you can try and grind a little bit or bump up a little bit to get to the heights. But when you put that lintel height in, you haven't got that much play to do anything else. So you just try to get to your best, unless you want to be millimeter perfect with your plate heights. You'll have to start disc cutter and everything, depending on how well you've built underneath. So once you've got your lintel height in, and then you can go round the inside, you can get your lintels on nice and level, because you just I've got a block and a briquette course to get to bang on to the outside, and then lintels go on. They'll all be bang on level because you put it in with a laser, and then you just build over the top. And then you'll be able to staple your damp on, and then you go around the outside. When this is the next thing that you need to be looking for, is once you've done the inside, and you're then going on the outside, depending on what type of detail you have over your lintels, arches or soldiers, or just running over, you need to take into account the lintels are slightly concaved, so they raise, when you put a brick on it, it's raised up before you've even put a bed on it. So if you're doing a soldier, your soldier course is going to be probably 5 mil higher than it needs to be already. Then, depending on the damp you're using, we're using the really good quality stuff, the really thick stuff. You're then going to also be looking at probably another 5 mil. So you've already bumped 10 mil. So if you do your brickwork to gauge from your lintel height up, then you're going to end up with a hump to try and get over your soldier course. So you need to take into account that as well, which is something that I check after I don't build my external corners up any higher than the lintel height, because that's the next thing I will check. Right, anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. I'm going to get cracking on with it anyway. I'm only working till about 12:30, 1 o'clock today anyway, so I won't be getting it done, I don't think. Definitely not. Start here, shall we? Right, so I'm going to go around and check this frames. What's the betting? It'll be right there. That'll got a fucking... It's always the way. Ha! That's all right, it's down there. Right, so we're going to go around and check this header frames. So this one's a little bit higher than that one. It's not far off though, so that one's a little bit higher. So we'll set it to that one. It's not a lot higher, just a fraction. So we're trying to find the highest one. Fuck me, that is loud. Alright. It's good. It's good. Down a touch. So this one's a little bit higher than that one over there. No, we're good. We're good. That's a touch higher than that one over there, so we'll go with this one. That was a little bit lower than that one, not a lot. See, that's about 10mm load to that one over there. That's fine. Right, so I now have my highest lintel height, which was that one over there. I think that one was about 10mm higher than the rest, which is nothing because we put them in with a laser to start. So what I'll do now is get my pen and transfer onto this. Just transfer my lintel height onto here. I can just, I know I'm 10mm higher than that, but I just like to transfer it onto here. If you have your profiles up, I just transfer that around onto the corners. So I don't need to use the laser anymore now. If you had your profiles up, you'd just bang it straight on your profiles and you're done. Right, so what we're going to look for is the plate height, which is that there, that plate height there. You can see the lintel there, and it just basically looks like a block over the lintel, but you don't go by that. But it looks like, so we've got one course of briquette, because you're not allowed a briquette under a lintel, so we'll have a course of briquette and a block, and then a block over the top. So we've got a gable end there, which is that end, and the gable end here. It's usually the short sides that are gable ends. We've got a little gable end in there as well. 2 meters 348. 2 meters 350. And you've got a, I can't remember, it's about 50mm anyway, with a 10mm bed. So that's my height that I got hit there. As if, fucking hell, them boards are a bit too far away from that block work down there. No, you're alright, you gotta go down anyway. Now you get that balloon bake here, Tom, and ask for a pack of bricks up when he drops it off, yeah? Unbelievable. Right through there, look. Right, let's try that again. So yeah, we've got a block over the lintel, 2 block and a briquette. So we have 9, 10. So bump up 10mm, and that's 900. So I'm going to be 10mm higher than that. But this was 10mm higher than this one. So now, even though I'm 10mm higher, everything's going to be put in level. Bricks! So, we're there. I want some fucking brick skis! Oops! Round this corner, mate. Oop. Mark Tyler! Mark! Come on! Tyler! You miserable little git. Straighten them bad boys back up. Fucking hell, guys. I want bricks, but not on my face. Yeah, nah, a bit there. Put the other ones on that, please. Yeah, geez. Oh, you fucking moaning cunts. Don't hit your level. It's bullshit. It's faster. They're not made of fucking plastic. They're not like them old wooden ones, the old fucking... You can drop them off a scaffold, they're made that well. Yet tap it with a fucking trowel and it's the end of the fucking world. The fuck is that? Oh, let's try again. Right, so it's 12:30. Managed to get this side up here, this side down there, and that corner is ready to run in these two blockwork sides on Monday. We've got half a day's work left up here. Everything's bang on level now, so what I'll do is I'll just make sure that my inner leaf is bang on level with this outer leaf all the way around, and then all the lintels will sit on lovely jubbly, and then finish off the internal, get the well, they ain't cut the plates yet, so I'll have to do that later, and then just jump back outside and finish the outside.